Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the Correct Views. This is Sam Gangi doing political commentary for the Media Speaks. I'm kind of sitting like right up on the computer because people keep telling me that they can't hear me. That's probably because this camera is like gone. So if you would like to help me get a better one, you can do so at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. Guys, you can donate through PayPal. It would be a huge help. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the news because that's why you went and tuned in. And this was interesting. Don't speak the truth in the N.F.L. It's like speaking the truth in the Hillary Clinton campaign. Listen to this. New York lawyer who claimed that the Super Bowl was rigged was found dead. His name was Dan Goodes, might be Goodes, G-R-O-D-E-S. He was found dead in his hometown of New York City. And early reports describe a gangland-style execution hours after blowing the whistle for the rigged Super Bowl backstage at a promotional event in Minneapolis. Interesting. Early reports claim that the 49-year-old was found shot in his 2017 BMW 2 Series, along with other men believed to be the close friend. Goodes is an entertainment lawyer, and he worked at the National Football League's headquarters. Hard to focus with that model there, ain't it? Fake and all. And has been representing the NFL in Minneapolis, working alongside Eagles and Patriots franchise staff for promoting the Super Bowl game. However, Goodes went off script in Minneapolis and was physically removed from the premises by security staff, but not before publicly condemning the NFL as totally corrupt and claiming that the Super Bowl is fixed. He told reporters that he's a football fan first and foremost and a lawyer second. Football in America in 2018 doesn't need another rigged Super Bowl. We need a great match, not another rigged result that doesn't pass the sniff test. I like money as much as the next guy, he said, but I like football more. I can't stand by and allow rampant greed and cynicism to destroy the game that I love. The little boy in me won't allow it. Football in America won't recover from this, he said. Early reports are stating that Goodes was shot dead in a gangland-style execution as a result. How many of you think that was an accident? He said the NFL has organized a rigged game that will earn maximum revenue for the league and hundreds of millions for broadcasters and advertisers, but will leave increasingly jaded fans with a bad taste in them. This is the biggest scam in sports history, he said. The Super Bowl has already been completely scripted out. How do I know it's scripted? I've read the damn thing. You need to understand that the NFL is a $35 billion rigged revenue corporation. Outcomes cannot be left to chance. Total league revenues are shared equally by all franchises, so they don't care who wins or loses. That would be important to change. Let me be perfectly clear here. It doesn't matter to the franchise owner. It doesn't matter to the players, but it matters to the league. Outcomes can be fixed to maximize profits since the early days of my career. The sad thing is that it's legal. Can you believe that? It's legal because it's considered entertainment. How are games rigged? Well, according to him, he said the Fat Cats franchise owners and their pampered players do not care who wins as long as they continue reaping their lucrative financial benefits. Have you ever stopped to wonder how Vegas has a point spread of over and under so close every week? There is not one game where the result totally blows away the point spread on the over or the under. It doesn't happen. Are they that good? Oh, no, they're not. Even the best cannot get it that close every single time. So how is the game fixed? Refs manipulate who wins for the overall benefit of the NFL. The NFL splits its revenue between teams, so of course they don't care. And I'm telling you they don't care. What player would care if they get an extra $5 million when the salary cap goes up thanks to the revenues built from scripted incomes? The players have an awareness that the refs make penalty calls in key situations to manipulate game outcomes. Again, how many of you listening to this think he was killed? Well, don't just say it because you think you enjoy talking about a good conspiracy or a murder mystery. How many of you think that it could legitimately be the case? If you do, make sure you let me know in the comment line, and I'll reply to you. You have my word. as long as I see it. This gets posted a number of places, so I should watch how I make that promise. Listen to this. Some songbirds have brains specifically designed to find male mates for life. Um, well, while I'm not looking for male mates, I assure you, I'm kind of the same person. I got married with the sole intent of that being my wife. I found I don't know that most people are wired that way. I really don't. I think most people are deliberately getting rid of that entire notion. And loyalty and love is now something fleeting, and it's not tied to commitment anymore. And I've noticed a lot of people dealing with it. So I thought this was interesting. If Cupid wanted to make two songbirds fall in love, he'd have better luck aiming at their brains. That's because songbirds, which form lifelong mating pairs, have brain systems perfectly tuned to fit together. While you sort through the messages of admirers deciding who to make your Valentine, consider finches. Young males in the family of feathered crooners learn the song of their father, perfect it, and perform it as adults to attract a lifelong mate. It's loud, elaborate, and precise. With their songs, they sing chirp chirp, my brain is healthy and my body is strong. That's something you're into, right? I know it sounds humorous, but I do think it's interesting. Listen, young males, excuse me, young female finches also learn their songs from her father at a young age, but she doesn't perform. She's the critic. She analyzes every detail of a potential mate's song, compares it to her father's example, and decides if this performer is the one she'd like to keep around. If she detects a song is too similar or off, simple or off in any way, she'll have nothing to do with the performer. She's very picky, and she should be, because the mate she chooses will help raise her young until death do they part. Pleasant thought from the animal kingdom here. Unfortunately, humans don't seem to be taking to them very well, but females tend to prefer elaborate songs more than syllables. And the female's brain is young and malleable. She tunes into her father's song and memorizes it, storing it in her head. Magic of the songbird is that the vocal learning is incredibly rare to find in animals, said David Woolley. No ape can do it except the human, no monkey can do it, and no rodent can do it. She believes that by understanding more about how songbirds use their brains to make sense of sound, we can learn how humans use theirs to develop language and communicate. Well, pretty much, because I don't think we have very many people in our country today who are using it to be necessarily loving to their mate. Let's face it, how many of you had a crappy Valentine's Day? It's our divorce rate now. I think it's more marriages fail than succeed. Probably not due to lack of effort in many instances. Listen to this, friends. This was good news. Seattle is doing the right thing. I almost saved this for Buddy Poff to do on 420, but it's not that close yet. Seattle to become the latest city to ease past marijuana convictions in an effort to bring restorative justice to communities that have been disappropriately affected by the drug enforcement, which is the war on drugs, which should not be going on. Seattle's mayor and city attorney said Thursday that the city will move to dismiss marijuana possession convictions that were prosecuted before Washington state voted to legalize the drug. It affects between 500 to 600 people. And again, the article goes on. This is great here. The mayor starts pandering the lie. How many of you have heard about the lie of white privilege here? Rather than realizing that we're all getting hosed equally, some people choose to make themselves out to be victims. But as any white person can tell you, they're just as likely to get popped for pot as anybody else. And the war on drugs has been a failure, an abject failure. It's not up to the government or anybody else to tell anybody what they can and cannot ingest. And when they attempt to do so, that's when they're overstepping their bounds. And people end up with criminal records and things that are job stoppers over this. So it's very good to see that Seattle is doing the right thing. We saw the same thing during alcohol prohibition, too. I'll look up my article on that at the Conservative Daily Post. All right, friends. You know what that is. You can hear what that is. It's the dumbdee of the day. Yes, I told you it was going to be a very short show. I'll make sure the next one's longer. You have my word. But I have not been getting as many shares. So you guys know how that works. The more shares, likes, thumbs up, and comments I get, the more you hear from me. And if you let them taper off, you don't hear from me. So keep that in mind, friends. Hit share, hit subscribe. Let me know you like it. USA Today, dumbdee of the day. This is really sad, too. Connecticut dog is found frozen solid, chained inside its doghouse. I covered a story about a dog that was frozen on a guy's porch, and the guy really didn't know any better. Somehow, people think dogs can live in any temperature at all. Animal cruelty charges are pending after police found a dead dog chained to its doghouse during the current cold weather spell. Body was frozen solid. The police said the local media pitbull mix might have been outside for as long as a month before it was covered. They said the dog's owner had been in jail on drug charges and claims that he had made arrangements for the dog's care. Well, that goes back to the war on drugs now, doesn't it? Maybe if the government would get out of people's lives and quit policing what they're doing in terms of drugs, unless they harm somebody, we already have laws against that. Maybe this dog would still be alive. Maybe the government needs to stay out of people's lives for petty things that are not bothering anybody else. But in any event, it is what it is, friends. I guess whoever was coming to get the dog did not do so. Local TV station WTIC said that the dog had been laying in fecal material which was frozen to its body. That sucks. According to WVIT, it's another station, police said that on New Year's Day, a concerned neighbor reported that the dog had been left outside during the bitter cold.
So your guys' offices are in New York. How are you capable of being?
Officers responded to the home in northwest downtown and found the pet dead. The dog was not provided any type of protective measures against the cold, according to the Hartford Courier newspaper. Police said that the owner told them that the dog was living in the basement of the home until a pipe burst and he had been placed outside. The dog showed signs of hypothermia, according to Deputy Chief Brian Foley. As morbid as it is, the dog was frozen solid when officers got to it. Well, maybe if you hadn't been arresting the owner, that wouldn't have happened. Friends, you're listening to The Correct Views. Sam IB signing off, giving you a short one today. Do me a favor. Hit share, hit subscribe. Let me know you like the show because I'm so crammed on time. I don't even have the internet at my house right now, and I'm still doing these shows when I can. At this point here from the library. So make sure you support it and let me know that you enjoy it, friends.